And welcome. Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to the Helium Down Under channel, a YouTube channel focused on helium, HNT, the Internet of Things, IoT, with, of course, a really strong focus and flavor on the AU915 frequency band. And that's the frequency band that lives down under in Australia and New Zealand. So a really big welcome along to this particular video. If this is the first time that you've dropped into one of our Helium Down Under videos, if I could encourage you to hit the subscribe button and to do me a favor, give us a thumbs up, because it really helps the algorithm to recognize the value in the content that we've got here, and it gets it out far and wide. And also, at any point through the video, if you have any questions or the likes, by all means, throw them into the comment. And folks, I will do my very best to answer them, obviously, after the fact. But tonight's video is all about doing an update. Guys, it's been a long time since I've done a regular or a full update for the helium situation down here in Australia, in New Zealand. In fact, it's been over a month, and man, oh man, has the landscape changed a lot in that last couple of months. So here we are. The topic of tonight's video is the availability and the current order status of your Helium Hotspots. Because guys, Helium is absolutely going off. In just a moment, we're going to look at price action. We're going to look at how many hotspots are on the map right now. We're going to look at where you can purchase a hotspot. So guys, if you are here because you've been looking for information, I mean, you've seen the price of HNT going through the roof, and you want to get yourself into the crypto sphere, you want to start mining yourself some cryptocurrency, and the whole idea of mining Bitcoin or mining Ethereum frankly puts you into cold shivers, just like it does me. One of the easiest cryptocurrencies to mine is in fact Helium or HNT, and if you'll hear about that tonight, well, I'm going to tell you about all of the suppliers that we have got that are supplying the AU915 frequency band. Now, before we go too far into this video, folks, I've got to do the old traditional sort of bit of an information share here. What's my objective? Why am I doing this? Well, my objective is to assist those that are like me, that love the whole idea of mining HNT here in Australia and New Zealand, and to build the IoT network that we call the People's Network. And I've got to say up front that whilst in the past I have had a bit of an interest in radio, back in the 80s I was a CB radio type person, and I built antennas and I pulled radios apart. But guys, I've got to tell you that I am definitely not an expert when it comes to radio, when it comes to electronics, nor am I an expert in financial or crypto matters. So all of the information that you'll find in this particular video is for educational and entertainment purposes. So hopefully you get something out of it. Of course, before you spend any money, whether it be purchasing hardware or whether it be investing in cryptocurrency, guys, please make sure you do your own due diligence, okay? Do your own research. Don't take the word of me or any other person on YouTube. Do your own research, and away you go. So let's start out just doing a bit of a snapshot of Helium on today's date, which is the 6th of November, 2021. So if you're looking at this video in a couple of days' time, or a week's time, or month's time, or even a year's time, if you're watching it in a year's time, guys, thanks so much. Hopefully Helium has gone through the roof. But this is the snapshot as of today. And guys, we have hit all-time highs, okay? Helium has gone literally, it's gone moon, as we would say. And one Helium today, one HNT has a value of $34.55 at the time of recording, at the time of actually capturing this screenshot here, which is about an hour ago. I haven't actually had a look at the price right now live, but the way that that big green candle is going up, our lines that we've got here is what was our weekly resistance. These are weekly lines. So right now, guys, we are well and truly up above our last weekly resistance, which is now, I'm going to assume, going to come into play as a support line. And if you notice here, if you do any sort of basic financial charting, we are setting higher highs and higher lows. And there we go. There's another higher low. There's another higher high. If we call this another low, or it's another higher low. And right now we're in the process of setting another higher high. So we are very much on the uptrend right now with helium. Guys, it's going off. How about you getting in the game to actually mine some helium? Let's have a look at this. Because right now, across the world, globally, there are 28,000 and a half, so 288,500 hotspots. When I saw helium about 6 to 8 months ago for the first time, maybe it was even 9 months ago, at that stage we were sitting at around 25,000. And the idea of actually ending up with more than 10 times that number of hotspots, really, quite honestly, at that particular stage seemed like a bit of a dream. But here we are, it's happening. And what about Australia? It's virgin territory, guys. This is a brand new area. Australia right now, 750 hotspots in Australia. And what about our friends across the ditch? Well, they've got a whole 75 hotspots. Now, as we scroll around the country map here, Sydney is definitely the focus of attention right now. Sydney and, in fact, Adelaide. The earnings of people in both Sydney and Adelaide are absolutely incredible right now. It is, in fact, quite commonplace to have people earning 1 HNT per day for a piece of equipment that you'll see very shortly costs well under $1,000. And right now, we're going back to the price of HNT, what we $34.55. One of those per day. It soon adds up. But of course, here I am up here in Brisbane. We're getting a good network building. Melbourne, likewise, starting to take shape. Perth is still a little bit scattered at this point, but I have no doubt very soon it's going to start to gather a bit of steam and a bit of a structure. Poor old Northern Territory and Tassie right now. They are the areas of the country that really need some love. So as we roll through our presentation here and talk about the hotspots that are on order and those locations where you can actually order a hotspot, well, hopefully a few of them might go to those areas, because Australia's map right now looks fantastic. And I'm going to guess that by Christmas, folks, this number here is probably going to be somewhere up around 5,000 rather hotspots out on the map, between 3,000 and 5,000. Just incredible. So let's move on from here. Okay, so let's have a talk about the options that are available to us. Now, going back, it feels like only just a couple of months ago, there were only a couple of suppliers, and at that point, actually getting an order placed with them was near impossible because they had closed all of their order books, and so getting an order in was absolutely an impossibility. So let's have a look. Right now, we have got 5 options. Today's date, 6th of the 11th, 2021. These are the 5 options that are available in Australia today. Okay, so you can have a Sensecap M1. You can have a Linksdot. You can have a MileSight. You can have a Bobcat. Yeah, get that. You can have a Bobcat here in Australia. For the last couple of months, I've been saying that Bobcats were illegal, but guys, as of yesterday, Bobcat are now coming to Australia. Bobcat's coming down under. And of course, we've got Heltec. So we've got these five different hotspots which are available to order today. None of them are available in stock anywhere that you can basically go and buy one off the shelf today, but all of these 5 units you can actually order. So let's check out number 1. Okay, so option number 1 is the Sensecap M1 hotspot. Now, the Sensecap M1 hotspot. Let's have a look at our summary here of information. What does it cost? Now, this is cost including GST and shipping. And the price of that unit to have in your hands is about $881 approximately. Shipping is going to vary just a little bit depending on where you are. When I ran it this evening, this is what it came up to ship a unit to me here in Queensland. What about the estimated shipping? If you were to order today, okay, you're looking for a brand new hotspot, you're wondering where to get one from. If you were to place an order with Sensecap M1 today, well, you would be looking to receive your hotspot in late December to early January. Okay, guys, it's only right now early November, so that's actually not too far away. That's only about 2 months. Where is your hotspot being shipped from? Well, the great news for the Sensecap is that it's actually being shipped from here in Australia. We've got our good friend Sam over in the IoT Store over in Perth, Western Australia, who is the exclusive distributor of the Sensecap hotspot in Australia. And it is going to be shipped from his warehouse in Perth to your place. So the delays in actually shipping from international is reduced a little bit. Of course, the goods still need to get to Australia, but when you finally purchase it, they're going to be coming to you out of the warehouse in Western Australia. What about payment options? How can you pay this $881? Well, from the IoT Store, there is Poly Internet Banking. Now, Poly Internet Banking, if you have never used it before, is something very similar to sort of like a bank transfer where you are using your own money. And it has a lot of the same protections, not all of the same protections, but largely the same as paying via credit card. So Poly Internet Banking. You can also do a bank transfer. You can actually just send the money to the IoT Store and pay for the goods that way. Or you can actually pay with cryptocurrency, because guys, this is all about actually mining a cryptocurrency, HNT. So it's not really that much of an out there thing to think that you might actually want to pay for your hotspot in cryptocurrency. Of course, if this is your first venture into cryptocurrency, maybe you might not want to go down that avenue and you might want to go with the Poly or the bank transfer. But if you do want to go with crypto, it is through Coinbase Commerce, and there are a number of cryptocurrencies that are available to make your purchase of $881 for your Sensecap M1 hotspot, available from the IoT Store. Let's have a look at option number 2. Option number 2 is also from Sam, our good friend over in WA at the IoT Store. Guys, this is a brand new hotspot to Australia, which currently right now does not have any representation on the map whatsoever. And this is the MileSight UG65. Now, this particular hotspot, which you can see a little photo of up in the top there, is actually more of an outdoor hotspot. It's not really designed necessarily as a standalone hotspot that you would stick out in the middle of a paddock long term to be facing the elements, whether it be sun, hail, rain, storms, you name it. Whilst it does actually have an outdoor rating, it's not really designed as a standalone outdoor unit. But if you are looking to mount your hotspot outside of your house, maybe on a wall or the likes, then this unit could be one that you might be interested in. Now, the price is a little bit more expensive, but guys, talking to Sam earlier on today, he was stressing to me that of all of the hotspots that are available for us to purchase here in Australia, MileSight, in his opinion, is the most robust construction or the most industrial by nature. So if wear and tear is going to play any part in any of these hotspots that we mentioned, in Sam's opinion, the MileSight UG65 is the one that's going to last a long time. Maybe you might want to pass it down in your as a family heirloom, perhaps. Maybe not. But if you ordered that today, it's going to be available to ship late December to early January. Once again, it's coming out of the warehouse in Perth, the IoT Store, and the same methods of payment are available. So there's option number 2. At this point, there are none on the map whatsoever, but you can be one of the first to actually have a MileSight on the map by getting yours from Sam over at the IoT Store. Now, all of the links to purchase these for the IoT Store, plus I have negotiated through Sam and a couple of the other manufacturers a discount code that will save you just a few dollars on your purchase of your Helium Hotspot. So guys, if you look down in the description of this video, you will find the web link to click on. Make sure you do actually click on those links, because there's a lot of scam sites out there right now. The world of crypto is full of them, and there are a bunch of bogus Helium sites. So click on the links in this description and use the relevant discount code if you would like to save yourself a couple of dollars. Let's roll on through to option number 3. Our good friends over in the UK. Now, going back about 3 months ago, when we were in a real state of hurt here in Australia, we were so desperate to get hotspots, but at that point, all of the manufacturers were well and truly focused on the US and Europe. And our good friend Adrian over at Linksdot were the first Helium hotspot manufacturer to truly embrace the AU915 frequency band. And Adrian, if you're watching this, mate, once again, thumbs up to you and your team over there. You've done a great job. You've come through with the goods. Right now, there is a slight delay on shipping, which we'll get to shortly, but guys, don't be too concerned. Whilst disappointment is a natural thing, especially with the price of HNT being as high and as active as it is, but of course, it will get here, and we're only talking about a couple of weeks in most cases. We're not talking multiple months like many of us who placed orders with some of those earlier distributors had to face. All right, so what is the cost of a Linksdot? If you were to order one through Linksdot right now, the price is going to be approximately $700, and that's going to be, once again, shipped to your door. Now, the one item here is that this does not include duty. Now, if you are only purchasing one hotspot, there is a strong probability, but no guarantee, that you may in fact get the hotspot in your hands and not have to pay any duty. Because typically, as a general rule, it is anything under $1,000 doesn't get hit up for duty. Anything over $1,000 does. So if you are ordering hotspots from abroad, whether it be Linksdot or any of the other manufacturers that I mention as we roll through this video, it's something to consider. I'm not suggesting for a moment that this is how you should dodge paying your tax, because as I say, it's not a guarantee. It's a probability based upon what we have seen so far over the last few months. So $700. What is the estimated shipping if you were to place your order today is late February. Where is it going to be shipping from? If you are ordering today, your hotspot is going to be coming out of the China warehouse for Linksdot. I can't remember which city it's in over there, but Linksdot have been doing business in China for many, many years under their parent company, Livermorium. Livermorium, and they are using, as far as I know, the same manufacturer over there, so it will be coming from China. How can you pay for your Linksdot? Okay, of all of the distributors that we'll be going through tonight, Linksdot is the only one that you can utilize credit card for. So if you are the sort of person that likes to use credit card because you feel stable and secure, then guys, look no further than Linksdot, because they are the only ones that offer the credit card functionality. And they take all of the major credit cards. You can also pay for your Linksdot via cryptocurrency. Once again, through Coinbase Commerce, and once again, there are a bunch of cryptos that you can choose to pay for if you'd like. So Linksdot and Adrian and his team over there in the UK doing a great job. Incidentally, I have got, going back to Sensecap, I have got 3 Sensecap in my possession. Well, not here in my possession, but they are actually out in hosted locations. I also have 3 Linksdot, which are likewise out in hosted locations. So I actually have 3 hotspots of each of the ones that we've mentioned so far. I don't have a MileSight yet, but in fact, I do actually have one on order, so I will have one before too soon. Let's have a look at option number 4. And option number 4 is our new friends on the block, the ones that we've shunned for the last 3 to 6 months because we didn't want them here because they weren't legal, and that is Bobcat. Now, Bobcat, guys, look, the amount of people that come into both the Facebook group, into the Discord group, and also onto my YouTube channel and leave comments, it is so common for people saying, where do I buy Bobcat? And up until this point, we've been saying that you couldn't buy Bobcats for Australia, even though some of them did make them into the country via backdoors, people doing reships and friends sending them over from the States, etc. Yeah, so there are some Bobcats on the map. We'll talk about those Bobcats and what's going to happen to them in a future video when I do a more dedicated video on the Bobcat. But let's have a look at our summary right now of the Bobcat should you want to join the Bobber family. The approximate cost to ship the Bobcat hotspot to your door, have it in your hands, is $725. Just like Linksdot is excluding GST and other duties If you only order one, you likely probably slide under the radar, but don't be surprised if you do have to pay duty. And if you do have to pay duty on your hotspots, it's obviously 10% plus a little bit extra. Let's round figures. I'm going to say about 12 to 13, but guys, that is just a figure. It's not precise, so please do your research if you are looking for an exact figure. Where will that hotspot come from? Well, the Bobcat actually, whilst they do have a large distributorship and office in the US, the hotspots actually ship from their manufacturer and warehouse in China. They have just opened up their fourth manufacturing facility over there, and right now Bobcat are the largest distributor of hotspots on the blockchain. It's absolutely staggering. I think it's 105 odd thousand hotspots, so they dwarf the nearest competition, and they are now here in Australia. But here's the kicker here. If you would like to get a Bobcat, the only way that you can purchase that is through cryptocurrency using the USDC, which is a stable coin. And that's available to buy and pay for through Coinbase Commerce, the same as a few of those as the Linksdot and the Sensecap. So there you go. That's the Bobcat. Option number 4. If you want to join the Bobber family, now you can finally do it and get an AU915 official Bobber in your possession. Let's go to option number 5. And here we are now with option number 5, which is Heltec. Now, Heltec is the actual hotspot. This hotspot here, well, not this exact one, but exactly this style, this brand, is what I use as my primary hotspot here at my home location in Daisy Hill, Queensland. And if you'd like to look me up on the Explorer map, guys, go right ahead. You'll see what this little hotspot is doing. It's called the Nutty Raisin Penguin. The Nutty Raisin Penguin, and that is a Heltec hotspot that's on the blockchain. That's the one I use. Now, what do these ones cost? Well, the approximate cost, including shipping, is $725. Once again, not including duty and taxes. Now, Heltec actually work on a general statement that they will ship a hotspot 30 days after your 30 working days after your payment has been confirmed by Heltec. Of all of the distributors and manufacturers so far, whilst I really love the Heltec hotspot, and I have a few more on order that are likely to arrive within days, what I will say is that they are the most complex one to actually purchase. So this one takes a little bit of intestinal fortitude to get across the line with these ones. Your payment for the Heltec will primarily be through bank transfer, and that's going to be a China bank. Or in some cases, I have heard of people that are paying into a Singaporean bank account where Heltec obviously have a branch. And on occasions, they also offer PayPal. And when they do offer PayPal, it's generally quite a popular option because obviously people can then pay with credit cards through PayPal. But largely, they do bank transfers. So it's a little bit scary the first time you do it. But guys, take it from myself. As I say, my Nutty Raisin Penguin, that's been my primary unit now for about the last month. And I received that one in the batch 1 panic orders that we'll talk about shortly. And I got through that. I've also got my batch of 5 coming very soon. So there you have it. There's our 5 distributors, our 5 manufacturers. All of them are available for you to place an order for your hotspot today. And if you go back, and I'm just sort of taking a mental note here, is that if you were to place an order with Sensecap, you could potentially be getting your hotspot by around December, January, and in fact through to Heltec, which is now probably the latest delivery for a brand new order placed today. And that's, of course, primarily because we've got Christmas break and the likes in between. So that 30-day working day period becomes quite a lengthy period now, being into early March. So there you have it. Our 5 options. Links in the description down below, plus the discount codes. Guys, if you want to get yourself a hotspot and get on the AU915 map, then please do me a favor, click on the links below and get yourself in the game. So let's move away from getting brand new units, because guys, if you're looking to buy place a brand new order today, guess what, guys? You're in a line of an enormous amount of people who have been placing orders over the last couple of months. And a lot of those people are very anxious to get their hotspots. Of course, this is a very dynamic environment. We've got chip shortages. We've got COVID. We've got droughts in some of the Asian countries. We've got typhoons and all of these things which do tend to slow down. And even then, when you get your goods into Australia Post right now, guys, I think they've done away with their little postie bikes and they're starting to ride around delivering their goods on the back of a push bike again. Because, oh my God, Australia Post is so slow right now. But of course, that's just through the situation that we face here in Australia. Getting so much better now with all of our lockdowns and the likes ending, which is such good news. It's time to get back to real life. But anyway, current shipping schedules, existing orders. And yes, this is where I put it, here under the lights, and I'd be looking at my hotspot and I'd be praising my hotspot as the HNT rolls in. If I had one. Well, guess what, guys? Let's have a look. Let's put you out of your misery. What's going on with the order schedule? Let's start with the IoT Store, with the Sensecap M1. Now, batch one, which had approximately 600 units, it was a little bit over the 600 units, and they are fully shipped. They went out the door about 3 weeks ago now, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and my Sensecap that I've got here, that's where they came from. They came out of that batch, and as you scroll around the map, right now, guys, I've got to tell you, the dominant hotspot on the Australian map is definitely Sensecap, especially down there around Sydney. Guys, they are going off down there in Sydney right now. So batch one, 600 hotspot. But what about batch number 2? Now, batch number 2 has one. Now, I was speaking to Sam just today. Okay, so there are 1,000 hotspots in batch number 2, and batch number 2 is due for delivery to mid to late November. Yeah. Right now, it's the 6th of November, so we're only talking potentially a couple of weeks, maybe 3, could be stretching out to the end of late November, maybe week 4, but that's batch 2, and we're going to end up with 1,000 hotspots on the map to add to that batch that we've already got there right now. So we are going to double what we have got on the map. So for all of those people in Sydney right now, guys, we're going to be doing so much content here in the Helium Down Under channel. Guys, I'm re-energized. I'm back into it. I'm back in front of the camera. I've got my mic going, and I'm going to be doing a lot more content, and we're going to be talking about reward scales and what people are doing. I'm going to be, in fact, just in a couple of days' time, I'm going to be doing a count back over, look, what are my earnings? What have I invested? And what are my returns? When will my hotspots be paid for? Are they already paid for? All of those sorts of things. Those will be coming up in a video in just a couple of days, so keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, click on the little bell for the Helium Down Under channel so you get notifications. All right, batch number 2, 1,000, mid to late November. Batch number 3, another 1,500 hotspots, and that's to be shipped in late December. So, guys, there is still an opportunity right now if you were placing that order with Sensecap, as we were mentioning before, late December, you'll be in batch number 3 if you were to place your order today. So it's really exciting. Have a look at the numbers there, guys. We've got 2.5. We've got over 3,000 hotspots from Sensecap alone on the Australian map by late December. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. All right, let's have a look. What about our friends at Linkstop? Because Adrian, of course, I went through before. They saved our bacon. They came to the rescue of the ANZACs when we were down and out down here. And in batch number 1, they did an initial batch drop of 150. Okay, it wasn't a huge number, but I got to tell you what, they really went out of their way to make sure that Australia got some love. Because if those of you who may not have been around, Linkstop actually opened in the US and Europe, and they were being held up by registration here in Australia to actually have the hotspot covered by the RCM certification, which is what you need to actually be on the grid here. It's a license that essentially says that you're all good to go. It's sort of like an Australian standards, if you like, for radio equipment. Now, they didn't have that certification, and they could have so easily sent the whole batch of 1,000 to the US and Europe and said, how sad, too bad, Australia. Guess what? You'll just have to wait. But no, Adrian really went did that extra mile, and they saved 150, and they put them to one side in a cupboard, locked the door, and put a padlock on it so nobody could get them out until they had the RCM certification, and then they were shipped to Australia. So as you scroll around the map right now, the 3 hotspots that I've got are part of this 150 batch, and there are obviously 147 more of them out there across the map there somewhere. Batch number 2. Batch number 2, approximately 750. Guys, it's been so long since we did these batches. I was really scratching my head tonight, and I was hunting and scrolling through Discord trying to find the figures. I couldn't find them. So guys, don't quote me on these. Really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter anyway. You can see there's a lot of them coming, but approximately 750, and they will be shipping in early December. Now, these units, batch number 2, were meant to be shipping about now, or I think it might have been in a week's time. But Linksdot have been caught up in the same turmoil that a lot of the manufacturers have with supply chain issues. They are taking right now batch number 2. There is a percentage of those, and I don't know how many. This is incidentally the numbers that are coming to Australia. This is not the number. Obviously, for batch number 2 for Linksdot, I think it's somewhere around 2,000, 2,500, and these are the Australian percentages that Adrian was looking to ship to Australia should the demand be there. Now, the demand definitely was there, so I'm going to work on these figures as a ballpark figure. But anyway, even though they have been pushed back a little bit, early December is what we're looking at for batch number 2. Batch number 3 has already been sold out as well, and that's estimated to be around 1,000. Again, this is just my estimate here, mid-December for those. Batch number 4, another 1,000 estimated. That's for early January. And right now, if you were to place an order with Linksdot, you would be placing an order in batch number 5, of which there is going to be, round figures, spitballing and throwing against the wall here, guys, about 1,000 units, I would guess. Maybe there'll be more. Could be less, whatever it is. But late January is what we're looking at. So Linksdot doing a great job. The next ones will be hitting our shores just before Santa sort of comes to town. And Linksdot doing a great job. Let's roll on to the next distributor. Heltec, here we go. Heltec, they had what they called a panic sale. And it really was a bit of a panic sale because they didn't announce it. All of a sudden, one day, a few people sort of on Discord discovered this website, so saying that there's 100 units available for purchase of AU915. And then there really was a panic, a rush to try and get you could only purchase one. So that panic sale, the 100 hotspots, that has been fully shipped to the best of my knowledge. Batch number 2 is in fact not a batch in the same way that it is through the other manufacturers. Heltec are working on what they call an offline sales system. Now, I'm going to guess, based upon the chatter that I see around the Discords and Facebook group, etc., I'm going to think probably around 500, but guys, it could be anywhere. It could be 5,000 for all I know. But I couldn't imagine it being any less than 500, estimated 500, and they are on a rolling shipment. Now, my next batch of hotspots are literally, they should have been delivered on Friday by FedEx, but I think FedEx got a little bit snowed under. They made an excuse that they went to the wrong address, but I don't think that's true. I just think they were too busy. But anyway, I'm expecting them to be rolling up on my door on Monday or perhaps Tuesday, so that'll be my 5 there. And so I think that I'm pretty much at the start of batch number 2. There are a couple of guys in our AU915 Discord, and incidentally, you'll find the links to the Discord group, to the AU915 Discord group, plus the Facebook early adopters Facebook group, which is Australia's largest Facebook community for helium enthusiasts, now over 5,500. Bryce down in Sydney set this up going back about probably 6 to 8 months ago with he and a couple of his mates. Had no idea how big it was going to get, and now we are Australia's largest helium community. As I say, 5,500 members and growing every day. Our Discord server has got close on 1,000 members. There is also a bunch of other Queensland. There's a bunch of other state Facebook groups. So if you are in a particular state, and obviously you'd be living in a state or territory somewhere, do a bit of a scroll through Facebook. You'll find them. There is a Facebook Queensland group. There is a Facebook Facebook ACT. I know there's one over in WA, and I can only imagine there's probably one in all of the states. And I know that there's definitely one over in New Zealand as well. So if you're watching this from New Zealand, guys, go and check out the Facebook. Do a bit of a search, put your fingers to the test, and find yourself that Facebook group. Link in with the people around you that are building the people's network with you here on Helium. All right, time to bring it down. Up until now, I've been excited. Up until now, I've been happy. I've been smiling. I'm not smiling anymore. Oh, I still have cold shivers. I still wake up with a sweat about Nebra, because when I discovered Helium back in March, I got all excited and I threw all of my eggs into one basket with Nebra, waiting for my hotspots to arrive. And guess what? I'm still waiting. So here we go. Batch number 1. If you were batch number 1, well, you've had your hotspots for 6 months too, because there's a heap of them on the blockchain here in Australia. Good luck to you all. Did a great job. Batch number 2 is also fully shipped. Likewise, they are a bunch of Nebras that have ended up recently on the map. Now, this is where we get into the world of allegation and somewhat make it up as you go along. If any of you have been around long enough, you will have heard of Aaron Shaw, who is the brains behind Nebra, and one of his parting statements as he left the Discord community is, I'll take this with a pinch of salt, but we should have, I think it was 14,000 hotspots rolling out the door in a month's time. I think that was 3 months ago, and since then, I don't know if there's been much more than about maybe 4,000 to 5,000 hit the blockchain. There's been a few roll out, but definitely nowhere near what he stated. So take this all with a pinch of salt. Batch number 3, allegedly being shipped right now, which is fantastic. Batch number 4, which is where I am. Yay! My Nebra was meant to ship in October. What the? Come on, it's November already. So yes, guess what? We've missed yet another deadline, and there has been no information released from Nebra since the 20th September. Now, pity on me. What about our poor friends down in batch number 5, of which my good mate John Dipros, who actually is the founder of the Queensland Facebook group. So go and look up the Queensland group if you're in Queensland. But when you speak to John, make sure you treat him with kid gloves, because John's order is in batch number 5. But don't worry, he's actually got one of my links.hotspots at his place right now, and he's playing and tinkering. He's got his antenna up, and he's like me. He gets all excited when the price goes up, and he gets all depressed when the price goes down. And when the hotspot goes to sleep, it's really frustrating. But he's in batch number 5, and right now, allegedly, end of Q4 2021, but guys, I gotta tell you, my confidence has never been lower on somebody to actually reach that goal. So there you go. That's from Nebra. If you are waiting for Nebra, I would suggest that you give consideration to do what I did, and that was cancel all of your orders. Now, I will say that I did keep one Nebra on order, and it's still there in batch number 4, because I just want to be able to say that I've got one. Okay, you probably may have seen the unboxing video that I did for a charity recently for the Variety Club that a donator had donated. Well, that's the only time I've actually seen a Lynx dot in the flesh, so they are real. They are sort of like the unicorn of the Helium world, the mystical creature called Nebra. Anyway, let's roll on. CalChip Rack 2. Now, guys, these were the golden child of Helium. I mean, when I came in, CalChip were it, okay? They were going off. They were delivering. It was fantastic. Now, I will differentiate here, because we have Rack version 2, which is manufactured by the company Rack. And then you have CalChip, which is the distributor that had the distribution rights for the Rack version 2. Man, the wheels fell off the wagon somewhere there. Now I have an opinion, and of course, I'm a YouTuber. I can share my opinion, but of course, guys, it is just my opinion. So this could be out of garbage. This could not even be close to the truth. However, I think that like many of the companies, they got lured to the big dollar of bulk purchase orders and business-to-business customers who basically think that they can just cut in line in front of all the people that have been waiting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And it's okay. We can place our order because we're a big business. Yeah. Thank you very much, Kelchip, for allowing that to happen if that's in fact what happened. But here we go. If you are in the, I'm not even going to try the Velociraptor or whatever that is, or the Walrus Group, well, you're going to probably have your hotspot by the end of November. If you're in these guys here, the Xenox and the Yak, estimated end of Q4. Zebra Jabba the Hun, estimated before quarter 2, 2022. Before quarter 2? Before quarter 2, January, February, March. April is sort of like when it starts. So I don't know if they're trying to sort of say that they'll be shipping around March, April. I don't know. But it's a long way off anyway. And guess what? I'm sitting down here with a single hotspot from Kelchip that, again, like my Nebra, I just want to be able to get it. So I really don't care how long I have to wait for it. It's in the Han Solo group. So it basically states on the Kelchip website the quarter 2, 2022 and beyond. And beyond, yes. And beyond. How far does beyond actually stretch? I mean, I've got a lot of grey hair. Will I actually have any hair left by the time that I get my Kelchip hotspot? I don't know. So guys, there you go. That's Kelchip. And our last one to talk about is one that I don't have an order for. And thank God I didn't. And those of you who have seen my earlier video, guys, I've never really spoken with much confidence on this one. Sorry for those people that all placed orders. Sorry to say, but I told you so. And really, at some point, I hope that some magic happens, but I really just don't see it. Okay, so batch number 1 from Syncrobit. When you go to the unofficial Syncrobit Discord channel, the only communication there about Australia is it says, we're getting RCM certification, shipping to commence in September. Guys, right now it's November, so September, October, we've got 2 months have gone, we're into November, and there's not a single Syncrobit on the map. So not only did they miss that deadline, guys, they have overshot it to the billio. So now there is absolutely no information available. If you've got a Syncrobit order and you've got some sort of email communication or Discord, or, I don't know, maybe they're sending smoke signals to you. If you've heard rumors about when you're going to get your Syncrobit, put it in the comments, because I'd love to know when it is. Maybe I can put it in the next video. But I've got to say my confidence has never been lower. I thought my confidence was really low with Nebra, but my confidence with Syncrobit has just hit an all-time low, so much so that I really don't think that they will ever ship the AU915. I believe that eventually at some point there is going to be enough pressure applied and they will issue a mandatory refund or the likes. So there you go. There's our distributors as it stands at the moment. Our earlier ones, lots of great success stories, lots of great locations to get hotspots, companies that is distributing on time almost every time. Sensecap, IoT Store. Sam, top job, my friend. You are doing a bottler of a job, a bonza job over there in Perth. You're really flying the flag high. MileSight, who knows? I guess that's going to probably be just as reliable as what the Sensecap is. Adrian and Linksdot, the batch 1 rolled out the door perfectly on time. Batch number 2, okay, we've dropped the ball just a little bit, but guys, this is just how it happens. At this point, I've got a world of confidence in Adrian and his team that they are going to meet the deadlines that they have for us now, so it won't be too far away. Of course, our Bobcat, the world's biggest distributor of hotspots, 12 to 20 weeks is what they claim. And guys, that's what they've been doing since day one. Even when the wheels fell off for everybody else around the world, Bobcat have maintained their great delivery schedule. 12 to 20 weeks is still a long time, but at least you've got a high level of confidence that they're actually going to meet it. Of course, we don't have to worry about it here because we've got Sam and Adrian who are going to look after us as well. All right, so So all I will say before closing out here, guys, is that we're rolling up to the Christmas, the festive season. This is the live map of Australia right now. Well, it's not live, obviously. I took this a little while ago. We've got our little blips of bright stuff all around the capital cities, and it's going off. People in Sydney earning 1 HNT a day with no problems whatsoever when they've got good setups. In fact, there are some people in Sydney that are earning close to 2 HNT per day. Absolutely mind-blowing. Over in Adelaide, likewise, I had no idea. It's all to do with geography and basically where people have got their hotspots, but there are people over in Adelaide that are likewise earning consistently 1.5 HNT per day. Here in Brisbane, we've got a really mountainous place, which you might sort of think is good, except that our hotspots are spread on all different sides of those damn hills and mountains, so it means that we're a little bit disjointed in places. We've got people, in fact, I get close to 1 HNT per day. I'll be going through my setup in a video very, very soon. I'll take you up onto the roof to have a look at the monster of the antenna up there, and I'll talk to you all about the whiz-bang antenna that I've got up there. I'll give you a hint. It's a McGill's microwave antenna. If after watching this video tonight you are looking for an antenna, they are the ones to look up. Just do a search, McGill's microwave antenna. Bonza stuff. 6 dBi is the way to go. Guys, it's going to be an awesome December. It's going to be an awesome 2022. Australia is lit up right now, and it's only going to light up even more. Guys, if you're stuck with me this far in the video, I really, truly appreciate. Remember, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't subscribed up until now. I'd love to get your comments in the video, even if it's just a thumbs up, even if it's a thumbs down. Okay, I really probably don't love getting thumbs downs, but hey, you can't keep everybody happy. And I know my personality would probably grate on some people, and I know I've upset some people over the times with inaccurate information or roundabout information. But guys, I mean, we're never going to know with this world of helium down to the precise number. All we're really designed here to do is give you a ballpark, some prices, etc., and the rest of it you go from there. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, my friends here in the AU915 land, this is Helium Down Under, wishing you a good night from my home here in Brisbane, and look out for the next Helium Down Under video very soon. I shall catch you later.